Confirmed. Fabrizio Romano reveals Arsenal's £55 million target is definitely leaving, and more. Ainsley Maitland-Niles drops a bombshell about £25 million striker Arsenal want. The most natural talent I've ever seen. All this and more you can check out now with the top Arsenal news directly from Emirates Stadium, so make sure to like the video and check your subscription so you don't miss any updates. And without further ado, let's get started. The summer transfer window is creeping up, and it looks like center forwards are going to be the hot topic this time around. Alexander Isak's been linked with Liverpool, Liam Delap's got a queue of clubs after him, and Benjamin Sesko's name keeps popping up on the radar of Europe's elite. As for Arsenal, Viktor Gyokeres has been making headlines lately, and now, according to Fabrizio Romano, things might be heating up on that front pretty soon. Romano says Gyökeres is definitely on the move this summer, and Sporting are ready to let him go for around £55 million. So if the Gunners want him, now might be the time to strike. Could he be the striker we've been waiting for? Let's see what Edu and Arteta cook up. Viktor Gyokeres is definitely leaving Sporting. Romano shared what he knows about the Arsenal target. According to the journalist, Gyökeres could be available at a discounted rate this summer, noting that Manchester United and Arsenal are keen. Meanwhile, Romano also noted that the striker is definitely leaving this summer, claiming that everyone should forget any notion that he could stay in Portugal. See what he said.
On Viktor Gyokeres, guys, let me clarify something on this story, because I was telling you that he will be available for less than the release clause, and I can confirm that. So let's say that Gyökeres, after a pact he has with the president of Sporting, him and his agents, he could be available for something around 65-70 million euros package with the add-ons. So we have to see the structure of the package, how it works in terms of payment terms, all these sort of details, but still available for less than the release clause, and that's an important point. Gyökeres, all Manchester United fans, all asking me about Gyökeres. He could be an option for Man United. Still, yes, for sure, he remains a player appreciated by Ruben Amorim, but it's not something guaranteed. It's not a done deal, as someone was saying in January, February, okay, for sure we'll go to Man United. It's an open story for several clubs, including also Arsenal, because also Arsenal appreciate the player. The new director, Andrea Berta, likes for sure the qualities of Viktor Gyokeres. Is a player he was already tracking last summer for Atletico Madrid, so he's for sure one of the names in the list at Arsenal, appreciated by Man United, especially by Ruben Amorim, but again, depends on fair play. And so Gyökeres will for sure be leaving Sporting this summer. Forget about Gyökeres staying, the idea is to leave, the idea is to go, and so it's gonna be soon time to make a decision. I will keep you posted.
Viktor Gyokeres is all set to leave Sporting this summer and join a big club, adding to the growing trend of top talents making the jump from the Portuguese league to Europe's elite. Andrea Berta, now pulling the strings at Arsenal, has a bit of a thing for Portuguese signings. Back in his Atletico Madrid days, he brought in names like Nicolas Gaitan, Joao Felix, Felipe, and Jan Oblak, all straight out of Benfica or Porto. Arsenal themselves have dipped into that market a few times too. And let's be real, it's been a bit of a mixed bag. Some hits, some misses. So if Gyökeres is next in line, let's just hope this one lands on the right side of history. Let's be honest, Arsenal's track record with signings from the Portuguese league hasn't exactly been golden. Fabio Vieira has taken a fair bit of stick since arriving, and Nuno Tavares, yeah, he ended up being the fall guy after a few shaky displays. Outside of that, there's not been much recent business with Portuguese clubs. You've got to go way back to the 90s for names like Luis Boa Morte from Sporting and Stefan Schwarz from Benfica, both pretty forgettable in the grand scheme. With that in mind, maybe the Gunners need to tread carefully before diving in for another big money move from Portugal. Gyökeres could be different, but history says we better do our homework this time. Ainsley Maitland-Niles says £25 million attacker Arsenal want to sign is the best natural talent I've ever seen. Arsenal looks set to be active this summer, with Mikel Arteta and new sporting director Andrea Berta planning to strengthen the squad for what's shaping up to be a massive 2025 season. Even with the ups and downs we've had this year, the Gunners are still favorites to make the Champions League semi-finals and sitting strong in second place in the league. But let's be real, next season the goal isn't just competing, it's winning. Arteta's building to go all the way in the title race and fight on every front, so reinforcements are a must. And get this, one of the attacking players Arsenal are looking at has just been called the best natural talent I've ever seen by none other than Ainsley Maitland-Niles. That's a big shout. Let's see if the club makes a move. The player in question is Rayan Cherki, who has been making a real name for himself at Rayan and is now being checked out by the Premier League's top sides. TBR football chief correspondent Graham Bailey recently confirmed that Arsenal, Liverpool, Tottenham Hotspur, Aston Villa, Newcastle United, and Manchester United are all eyeing Cherki. Maitland-Niles came through the ranks at Arsenal before joining Rayan on a free transfer in 2023, where he now counts Cherki among his teammates. And the Hale End graduate, speaking ahead of Lion's Europa League meeting with Manchester United, could not sing Cherki's praises highly enough. He is the best natural talent I've ever seen, Maitland-Niles told BBC Sport. An absolute master, a wizard with the ball. He's taking chances, assists, and dragging us up the pitch by taking people on and nutmegging them. He is a genius. He is two-footed, has no fear, keeps going and going, can get past people with such ease, such finesse. He is now working for the team off the ball and has gone to another level this season. How much Rayan Cherki could cost this summer? Word is Rayan Cherki's got a deal with Rayan that lets him leave for under £25 million this summer. Absolute bargain territory in today's market, especially for a talent like his. He's really kicked on in the last few months, and with the kind of potential he's packing, you can bet most of the Premier League's big boys are sniffing around. The 21-year-old's been shining either in the number 10 role or out wide on the right, which makes him a seriously handy option. Someone who could slot in as backup or even competition for Odegaard and Saka. Versatility like that, yes please. But here's the catch, Arsenal aren't the only ones in for him, with comparisons being thrown around to Eden Hazard. Yep, really. It's gonna take some proper convincing to get him to swap Rayan for N5. Let's see if Edu and Arteta can work their magic. And finally, we have this urgent news. Real Madrid made a special request before the return game with Arsenal, but La Liga has just rejected it. Real Madrid are still in the race to win La Liga. Barcelona are currently the favorites to go all the way in the Spanish top flight. They are 4 points clear at the top and have 8 games left to play. Real Madrid are keen to chase them down, but they still have big hopes of overturning their deficit against Arsenal in the Champions League despite being 3-0 down. So to give themselves the best chance of beating Arteta's side, the Galacticos decided to make a special request to the Spanish Football Federation. Los Blancos asked La Liga to bring forward their game against Alaves this weekend from Sunday to Saturday so that they can get an extra day's rest before they have to face Arsenal. Their email to La Liga says, as revealed by Cadena Ser, as you well know, this meeting is strategically located between the 2 games that we will play against Arsenal in the Champions League quarterfinals on Tuesday, April 8th in London and on Wednesday, April 16th in Madrid. Advancing the match against Deportivo Alaves on Saturday, April 12th would allow us to have more margin to adequately prepare both that commitment and the decisive meeting on Wednesday the 16th at the Santiago Bernabeu. We are convinced that our request is fully reasonable, and we trust that it can be addressed. Alaves agreed to it, but La Liga did not. Real Madrid were told that these types of requests must be made before the schedules are made official. Do Arsenal have an advantage over Real Madrid because of scheduling? After La Liga rejected their request, Real Madrid will play Alaves on Sunday at 3:15 p.m. Arsenal, on the other hand, are scheduled to take on Brentford in the Premier League on Saturday at 5 p.m. Over 20 hours before the Galacticos. That can be viewed as an advantage, but Arsenal will have to travel to Madrid for the second leg at the Bernabeu on Wednesday, so we think that evens it out and the game between the two sides will be played on fair terms. It will be interesting to see if either Ancelotti or Arteta or both will rest key players in their respective league matches this weekend. Well folks, those were the main news for today. If you enjoyed the video and want to stay updated on everything happening with our beloved team, you know what to do. Subscribe to the channel now and hit the bell icon so you don't miss any updates. Thanks for joining us, and until the next video.